Hi everyone! Alright, we're back for another art journal page, and on this one I'm starting with a piece of pattern paper, and I'll make sure to list what this pattern paper is. I'm sure it's a DCWV stack. I got it from Joanne, so I'll list that in my description, or in my supply list on my website. I'm just not sure what it is right now. So it's just got a text background, and it's this aquamarine? No. Teal? Turquoise? One of those. But it was pretty color, and it was laying on my floor, and the rest of it is still laying on my floor, by the way. So I just drew a heart and then tore it out, and then started tearing the heart into pieces and kind of just piecing it back together with spaces, kind of a mosaic style heart. And it started to go askew, so I had to kind of find a new way to put it back together. And I am using golden soft gel medium, and it's matte. So the heart does not end up perfect, but that's okay. Our hearts are not perfect. So yeah, I ended up with an extra piece. But you know what? Whenever I build furniture, my wife always laughs because I always end up with an extra piece anyway. So it's all good. So this is the exact same pattern of that paper, but in a darker blue, and or more a navy really. And I had covered it in soft matte gel and then dried it, and it tears differently than it does when it's not gel mediumed. So something to think about. I don't know. It was more raggedy when I tore the green heart. These are a little bit more perfect tears. I think the sealer on the paper helped it tear a little bit straighter. I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but it did tear differently. So that's where I was going with that. So now, just keeping in that same kind of mosaic style, I am just fitting these pieces together and trying to cover this background. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that this has brown, some kind of brown acrylic paint on it. I missed the footage where I got that, where I covered the background. It could be black gesso, but I don't think it is. It looks kind of brown, so I don't know. Something's on that background. And it's permanent because it's not lifting when I put wet stuff on it. So that's good. So let's see. Again, just, yeah. What's it called? Mosaicing. Yeah, that's it. So, I'm not sure if you guys will see this video first or my vlog for the week, but yeah, I totally got a promotion at work. Woohoo! So yeah, I might be a little bit busy in the upcoming weeks with graduation and my birthday. Excuse me. Sorry, my allergies are awful. So I'm using the exact same pattern again in a different color and just going a little bit lighter for this upper right hand corner. But yeah, for the next month, in the next month I've got my graduation, my birthday, and my first official day in my new position is actually on my birthday. So, and graduation is 2 days before my birthday. So that weekend is going to be crazy. So yeah, but I'm excited. Let's see. So I wanted to do this little inclusion piece. I do the front of it, but I don't do the back. So the back side is left with just that whatever color is there. And again, I'm doing that kind of ombre with the lighter color on top. This was kind of a fun technique. I don't know why. I had been thinking about doing this, just like paper mosaic, for a while. And it was kind of fun. Got to use up some of my pattern paper. That's always a good thing. And I sped this up to 5 times the normal speed, by the way. So, yeah, that took a while. Alright, so just trimming off the excess pieces of those mosaics, and I end up leaving a couple on the bottom just hanging off, and I cut them at the end of the page when I was all done. I didn't notice them until I started flipping through my journal. So, I am, sorry, off camera, I'm using, I think it's Bright Aqua Green by Liquitex Basics, and a little bit of glazing fluid, and I am just using that glazing fluid to make the paint more opaque, which is the purpose of the glazing fluid. And what I wanted was the color more intense, but I still wanted to be able to see the mosaic patterning. I wanted to be able to see the pattern of the paper. So and I'm mixing some ultramarine blue and some color of gray. I wanted a more gray blue than I had, so I love color mixing. It's so much fun. You get to make whatever color you want. And it's so not as bright as the original blue, so it's fantastic. And this does, I think I put some glazing fluid in this as well, because I wanted the pattern to pull through on this one as well. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, and then I'm going in with the baby wipe and just kind of taking some of it away. I really didn't want to lose those in-between parts where you could see that dark color. Again, I don't know what was there. I honestly don't remember what I put there. I want to say black gesso, but again, it doesn't look black, so I don't know. And I wiped off the back with that little inclusion. So then I took my Pitt big brush markers and in, I don't know, some color of blue. You know what? I'm going to look at them now and tell you, because if I don't, then I won't know when I go to do my supply lists. And of course I can't find them. Don't burn yourself on the iron. So I just used 2 colors there, right? Say yes, Aaron. One is phthalo blue, 110. It's phthalo blue, good color. And then the brown is Caput Mortem, 169. And again, I'm just doing some shading, just trying to tie those two into each other, but make that heart really pop. And again, I don't mind that the left side of that heart is kind of messed up. It's all good. It's all good. It is all good. If your heart's perfect, you probably shouldn't be watching my channel anyway. If your heart is imperfect, then you are so welcome here. So, I'm just using my, I think this is the graphic line painter. I gotta tell you, the more I use these, the more I don't like them. I love that they're permanent. Someone asked me in my last video if they were permanent or water soluble. They are permanent because they're a pigment pen, but they just puddle. I end up having to just let it puddle on my craft sheet and then dip into it. It was working perfectly here, but when you start working on top of acrylic, it's bad, just bad. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to my Molotov white paint markers. They're fantastic. Someone also asked about those in one of my last videos because I forgot to put that in my supply list. That is the best white pen for art journaling on top of acrylic paint. The Molotov, it's MOLOTOW, white paint pen. So, good stuff. This is Liquitex Black Magic Textured something. I'm really on top of it. I'm telling you, these allergies are kicking my butt today. It'll be in the supply list, but I think it's called Black Magic or something. It's by Liquitex. So then I had my my melting pot, and I turned it on and let it melt a whole bunch of UT ultra thick embossing enamel, and then I wanted to pour it all over this heart. So I did, and it did not go well. This was an epic fail. It ends up working out to my advantage, I think, because right now that heart's not standing out from the background very much, which is why I grabbed the UT. But I wanted to leave this in so you guys could see how in the world I did this and then how I fixed it. Once it dried, I started peeling it up, and yes, it did tear some of the paper. So I just took that bright aqua green by Liquitex paint and covered it up. And yes, I lost the patterning on the paper and some of the mosaic, but you can still see the shape of the paper underneath. And actually, it makes the heart pop a lot more actually. So yeah, that worked to my advantage actually. So then I'm just doing the same shading with the same colors, and then I thought that bright aqua green was a little too bright, so I went in with my Pitt Big Brush Artist Pen in Cold Gray 3, number 232. Using that same brown to go around the edges and just tie it in. And this is that line painter, and when I started using it, okay, I'm going to be the first to admit I know that I mess up my white pens more than anyone else, because, well, I'm not saying you don't mess up your white pens too, I'm sure you do, but the reason we mess up our white pens is because we're writing on top of acrylic that's not dry. It is dry to our fingers, but it's not completely cured. So that's why we're losing white pens. That's why my favorite white pen is that Molotov pen, because it's actually an acrylic paint pen. So you're not going to hurt the pen by using it on top of dry acrylic, because it is dry acrylic, or it is acrylic. Good Lord, I'm a mess. So I just did some sketching around the heart, just did some doodling, and this is with that graphic line painter. And it did a lot of skipping, a lot of stuttering, so as you can see I'm dipping into that puddle just to get the line finished. And again, it was fine on that completely dry acrylic on the back side of that inclusion, but on this acrylic that I had just set with my heat gun, So I'm pretty sure I'm the one who destroys my pens. That's okay. This is a Montana white paint pen. I'm almost out of the paint in this one, so I'm trying to use it up. And I just used my handwriting and wrote elastic on top of that heart, and it's because I love Sia, and I love that song, Elastic Heart, and the whole concept of an elastic heart is very meaningful to me right now. With having just lost the dog and everything, it's still heavy on my mind. I know you guys probably hear me talk about it all the time because I get into the deep stuff here, but I don't talk about it every day. But it still weighs pretty heavily on me. So I flipped the page, and apparently the acrylic paint did not like this, so it started peeling up, so it stuck to the other pages. So I wanted to show you how I fixed it. So I peeled those pieces that had stuck to the other page off, and I grabbed some simple Aleene's glue, and I glued them back in. Kind of like a puzzle. I just pulled the piece off the side from the other page, and poop, right back in. And you really don't notice it, and yeah, I'm good with that. So I just used a little bit of paint to do some more touch-ups on a couple of those spots, and for the most part that fixed it up. So there you go. That's how you fix your your previous pages that get messed up. So this is Distress Stain in Picket Fence, and I am just dabbing it right along the bottom and spraying it with water and letting it drip upward. And I do this a couple times to get a couple different layers, get a couple different intensities of white, because the water really dilutes the pigments in it. So it took a couple of times to get the color I wanted, or the brightness of the white. So, and I'm going to do a video on sealing your pages that have water-based products on them, and that will be coming up at some point this week. So stay tuned for that because it will feature this page. So did the inclusion as well, and I didn't mind that it dripped onto the page behind it. It's all good. I don't mind. And then on this inclusion, I felt like I just wanted to write words that were important to me dealing with an elastic heart, and you know, there's that stretch and then the release, and so I was kind of going through the gamut of emotions, and I just wanted to write down words that were important to me. Let me see if I can read them to you. And I'm using, this is my Molotov white paint marker. I use like every white pen I have. Heal, overcome, stronger, time, love, sleep, cry, dream, remember, appreciate, circle, memory, family, smile. So those are all words that were important to me as I was sitting and thinking, and you know, no words are right, no words are wrong. They're your words, it's your story. So, you know, write what works for you. Again, using my Montana paint marker, and as you can see, it's having no problem going over this page. I love this. Or this is, sorry, not the Montana, this is the Molotov. I'm a mess. I warned you. I warned you. The allergies. And I'm just doing some scribbly lines to frame in this page, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the box around the words. And then lastly, I just took a archival ink pad around the edges, which I did off camera. So it doesn't make a huge difference, but it just kind of ties in the page a little bit. So that's the whole page, Elastic Heart. 'Cause I've got thick skin and an elastic heart. And if you haven't heard that song, go listen to that song. It's a great song. So I hope you liked the page. I hope you liked the sentiment, and I hope to see you back next Sunday for more videos. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.